Good morning, YouTube. I got another video. I recorded the London session while I was at work trading, so it's kind of clunky. I was doing it on a laptop, and I had one other screen, but I was primarily using that for work. So what I did was I uploaded this to YouTube, and now I'm playing it back. I'm going to play it back 2x speed, and then I can kind of voice over it. As you'll see, I did all kinds of annotations on this, so I'm just going to kind of get it started. It's a long video. It's like 2.5 hours, so I figured by speeding it up to 2 times and then maybe skipping over some of the slower portions, we'll get it down to an hour or so, hopefully. But you'll want to see this. This is just amazing. I can't say. I mean, I was speechless when this session ended, and you'll see why. I put a pretty bold claim in the description about, if you don't know about this, or it'll make a believer out of you. Trust me, this is something else. So let me get it started, and then I'll just kind of be talking as it goes on. I'm going to try not to move my actual cursor much, since this one is flashing all over the screen. But basically what I did was, it's about 4:39 New York time, so I'm a little bit into the London session. As soon as I got confirmation over here, so for those of you that don't know, when a candle breaks this white line up here, it's the DR line. It sort of gives us an indication of how to use the database that's provided. It's called DR Lens, and it's basically 20 years worth of stock market data on the indexes. And it flashes in and out every once in a while here. I've got it in previous videos where it's a little more, where you can kind of see more of it. But basically, I'm taking information from the database, and I marked up the chart. You can see where the True Max extension is, True Max retracement, and then the retracement time and extension time. What's going to happen is I'm expecting price to come back into that True Max retracement area, and then from there work its way up to my True Max extension target. And I've got a 5-minute candle on the left side, and then on the right side on a 1-minute chart, I've got ES on the left and MES on the right. I'm trading micros, so my executions are on the right screen. And I do all my charting, and I try to keep an eye on the volume imbalances and gaps and things like that, fair value gaps, all of that on the left side. So for anybody that thinks this might be somehow faked or whatever, the left hand screen, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to do any annotations on it. What you see right there is real time. This is live. Anyone that knows TradingView knows you can't use the replay mode and make it act like it's doing live price like this. So this is all live, and so I'm already in a trade over here on the right side. I got in late because I'm at work, and you can read and kind of see, as I'm talking, I'm also annotating and texting information as I go, so it might be pretty distracting, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I got in. I didn't get in my optimum entry. I would have liked to have got in a lot closer to the ADR middle line, and I think I point to it here in a little bit, right in here somewhere. When it rejected off of this orange line right here, that's the ADR middle. That's this orange line right here, and that represents the middle of the ADR range right here. So this is the ADR box, the high and low from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. In the Asia session, and I learned this from Nindo. He's one of the Academy gurus, I guess you could say. He's a beast with this stuff. So, but anyway, that was my thought process. I got in late because I'm bouncing back and forth at work, and when I got in here, I already saw the confirmation. So I went in real quick. I put these lines in accordance with the information from the DR Lens database. I set my targets. And I put what the false range would be here. So I think I made a comment about it looks good for a true day because of this up here. Since I didn't get this extension at this time, most likely it's pointing towards a true day, which means that this retracement is in play, and also this target. This is the max extension range according to the clusters in the database. This is the retracement range, I believe. No, this is the max extension. So 0.6 to 1.4 somewhere. I think I did from like 0.6 up to 1.2, something like that. Aiming for the low-hanging fruit here. But as you'll see, price actually gets up into this box pretty well. I hit my target beforehand, but I was about to get off work. I had to get out of my office. It was kind of rushed. Otherwise, I would have let price, I would have followed it up. I would have set my stop loss, better in profit, and I would have been able to carry that up, shoot another 5 or 6 points probably. So that would have been great. But I was happy to get what I got. So I'm kind of showing the information from the database. That's the max retracement distribution right there, and that corresponds to that box I'm adjusting right now. So once I see that, I'm putting where price should retrace to after it comes back into the DR range, according to the information from this database. So I'm showing you ahead here, kind of on the right side, where my information is coming from that I'm creating these boxes on the left side. So, okay, so not much happens from right here. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit just to save some time. Like I said, you can keep your eye on this left side over here. And as I fast forward, this is all legit. I'm going to try to get to where price comes down a little bit. I'm still adding lines and moving stuff around a little bit. I think I'm trying to set that. Yeah, I'm trying to make both boxes look the same because I don't have my stop loss on the left side, so I'm moving stuff around a little bit. Okay, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. So originally I thought this was going to be the retracement, and it would have probably would have qualified because of the range that you have. There's like a lower and upper range of what that can possibly be. So when I saw it come down here to the 0.2-ish, I was thinking that would count. But as you'll see, fast forwarding. Let's see what I'm going to type here real quick. Great, now YouTube is jacked up. Okay, I might not want to do too much of that. And now it's blurry too, so I don't know if that was a good idea. Let's see if it clears up. I just uploaded this too, so it might not be standard or high definition yet, but it's good enough to get the job done. Okay, so yeah, so here I'm thinking retrace was hit with the 0.2. You can see in that range, that's acceptable. But it actually did come down, and it's going to land. It's going to land right in the circle. There we go. Bam. All right. So, and then I also called that. Let me back that up a little bit. So right here, I saw this consolidation, and I know it's going up. There's no doubt in my mind it's going up. It's just a matter of time. So I'm expecting to see an inducement right here to see, to do just that. You know, get people to go in short and then reverse on them and chop them up, and then that gives the up move some energy, and that's what's going to happen. So bam, there's the inducement. Saw that coming, and it also puts me in my max retracement area over here, almost to the tick. Yeah, I mean, you can't hit any better than that, and that's at the exact time. None of this is going to be moved. These times are you can watch. I think this one is set for like 7:10. I can't see exactly. I don't remember what they were, but I think this one was 7:10 New York time, which would have been 6:10 where I'm at. Okay, so let me fast forward a little bit more. Get through some of this. And what ends up happening is my original idea was to have my stop below the ADR middle down here, and the price got away from me so far that I had a really crummy risk to reward trade on this. But like I said, you know, I'm confident this is going to go this far. It would have been better if I would have got in sooner, but I wasn't at the computer, so it is what it is. And what happens is, because I'm trying to minimize my risk, I played a little bit close up here and I end up getting stopped out. So after that happens, oh yeah, this is I like marking precision on these when it hits these targets like this. It's just amazing to know this hours ahead of time that this is where price is going to most likely go. Is just an incredible feeling. I mean, it's just really amazing how this works. So it didn't take a direct path up to my target, which, you know, it never does. You can see I drew this little crazy line over here. It ended up coming up. I added to the position when it got back over the IDR, thinking it was going to, you know, scream from there. And then I moved my stop loss up, and I ended up getting stopped out. But I know that this is a true day because false data is nowhere close to a false data. So it gave me a lot of confidence. So I just jumped right back in and went in with my, you know, after the add, I went in with the same position, 4 micros. I pushed my profit up so I would recoup my loss and also make my original profit. So that's confidence. I mean, this strategy gives me that kind of confidence. I know this is where price is going to go. I've seen this happen. You can see the other videos I've made similar to this. I think this is the first one I've done where I actually had live trades and marking up the chart in real time. Normally what I had done was just apply the data to the session and then replayed it, and, you know, price did exactly what you're going to see it do right here. It goes where it's supposed to go. Okay, so I don't think I haven't gotten stopped out yet. I haven't added. It tricked me a couple times. I got these nice pushes, and I was thinking, you know, here it goes, here it goes. But, you know, you can't predict the path, but you can predict the result using this strategy. Okay, I go by kicking in a couple stops along the way. And for the most part, this is accurate. It just comes back a little bit deeper than I had accounted for. And I didn't want to keep pulling my stop back. So when I got back in, I gave myself plenty of room. And then I moved it up some. And at one point, I was saying, you know, if it comes any lower than this, then I probably wouldn't move it again. And luckily, it worked out. I didn't have to. As I said, I'm still really new at this. I just started trading in July. So, you know, my execution needs some work. But don't let that take away from the accuracy of this data and this strategy. If you watch like some of these other people do it, they're a lot better. You know, it's mind blowing. Yeah, I love DR, IDR. All right, so I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, get through some of these retraces, my stop out. I'm pointing out that, you know, all this liquidity is being created up here. I know price is going to go back up here and try to get it. Okay, so yeah, this is where I minimized risk, added my position right here around the IDR. And I'm still a ways away on time, so I was kind of jumping the gun on this now that I look back at it, and especially now that I can see how fast price can move. When you see price go hit this target, you're just going to be like, this is like watching ICT. I mean, literally, this reminded me of some of the videos I watched of him where he just calls price and it just screams right up to his target. And I'm not saying I'm anything like ICT, but the experience of watching price go where you expect it to go, and covering that much ground that quickly was it just blew me away. All right, so I think I lost like around 50 bucks on my stop out, if that's already happened. I don't remember. We'll see. Let's go forward a little bit more. Okay, so still 80 minutes to target, so lots of time. Just keep your eye on this. Nothing's moving over here. I'm not adjusting anything. This is real time. I'm on a split screen in TradingView. And this was set up at, what did I say? Like 30 minutes after, 30 minutes, it would have been an hour and 30 minutes after the session. So here was the session. Here's the hour to create the box. And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, about an hour and a half, 4:30 or so. So this is hours in advance. This target was here hours in advance that this retracement was set. Okay. I'm pretty sure I haven't gotten stopped out yet, so let's see. My stop is okay for now, but I might give it a bit more room. Yeah, I was kind of torn because I knew this was safe down here and this is where I should have been, but I didn't like having that, terrible risk to reward, so I was moving it up, I guess, for appearance's sake, if nothing else. I should have just left it down here and stayed safe. It would have won. I mean, I wouldn't have got stopped out if I'd have left it there in my original place. Okay, so just kind of reading these annotations here. Oops. All right, I'm going to fast forward a little bit more. Okay, yeah, I think I do get stopped out. So let's back up just a hair. Here's what I was saying. Okay. I was expecting another inducement to come down to get the shorts involved again. But I didn't want to see it come down too much. But not too much. And watch what happens. Like literally right after I say that, here it comes. So again, this is to be expected. This is the algorithm doing what it does. Gets people to go in long, then chops them out. Then back and forth consolidation, building stop orders above and below, and then it already knows where it's going, but it's going to create as much liquidity along the way. So it stair steps itself to where it wants to go. So now it has a lot of reasons to come back up here. It's got all this liquidity here, plus some more up here. All this, look at that. That's going to get hit. And then here's the Asia session, and there's more liquidity up here. So that's what I had in mind when I set my target over here, is I wanted to make sure I capture at least some of that. So here comes the retrace. I don't know if I already got stopped out or not. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think I did, because I raised my profit to 150 after I got stopped out to make up for the 50 bucks or whatever I lost. So like I said, I should be down here, and I end up, as I'm moving it, I get stopped out, and then it turns around. So that's when I was like, you know what, got back in before, didn't waste any time. I know exactly where price is going to go. This is confidence. Okay, now I'm up, moved it up, try to make back what I lost. I'm still not below the ADR middle. I think I was just trying to see, where it wanted to go. I knew this swing might have been my next thought. I'm actually going to be able to make this quicker than I thought. I didn't want to have to put you guys through a 2.5 hour video. All right, so here we go. Good sign there. Still plays around a little bit there because this is my time. This line right here is the same as this line over here. It's a little 7:10. I just haven't changed it to green extension time yet, but I will here shortly. But it still comes up here and plays around a little bit and makes me sweat. Minimize too much, yeah. Still learning. I should say minimize risk too much. Yeah, put that in there. Okay, so heading to target now. That's what I thought when I saw this push and this gap, but it still, like I said, it took a little while. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit more. Okay, so I'm up, I'm down, getting a lot of activity, you know, consolidation around the IDR and DR lines. And this is just more inducement, you know, getting people to go short so we can come back around and rip and take those stops. Okay, it turns around. All this liquidity. So even when it drops down, I mean, I didn't have any doubt that this was going to happen. I started thinking it might hit the target late, which would have been fine. I've told people, you know, if it hits it early or late, if I see it getting up there, that's fine. But this move that's coming up is just going to blow your mind. All right, it's coming all the way down here. I'm almost getting ready to get stopped out again. I know, you're not supposed to move your stop around a bunch like this, but like I said, this is really not ideal circumstances. I have a completely different setup at home, and I can, you know, if I'm able to spend time with it, I would have got in at the right place. I would have been relaxed right now. I would have had a stop loss way down here. I'd have been way into profit already. This would have been a monster trade for me, but I didn't get in until, like, I think the first trade was way up here around the IDR. The second trade, I jumped right back in after I got stopped out, so it was a lot lower. But with the increase, you know, doubling the position size to make up for the difference, yeah, real close. And that saved me right there. That saved me. I went back to my original stop loss, and I just said, you know what, heck with it. I'm not going to get stopped out again. I know this is the place to be. This ADR middle area is I had a lot of confidence since it had rejected from there, you know, a couple times, once, twice. It never did really get back down here, so I had faith that that would hold. All right, so let's get to the good stuff. All right, it's time. So I see this big move. I've got what, I can't see what time that is, but it's got a long way to go and a short time to get there if I'm going to hit my time target. And these time targets, they have a distribution cluster as well, and I think I just kind of pick like something towards the middle of the range for my line, being aware that it could be early or late, kind of like, you know, these boxes here. I could put these boxes for time also, but it's just too busy on the chart. I like having these targets marked out like this in the box, on a line, in a circle. For me, that's been working, so that's what I go with. All right. So now I'm in profit. And this is right at the end of my shift, so I'm barely able to do much here. Have I been able to manage this better? At some point, you know, when I got up here enough, I would have moved this up. And I would have liked to, you know, take a partial and let some runners go, because it actually went up into the box. And I'll show you a screenshot of what price actually ended up doing. I cut it short because I had to go right after it hit my target. But it literally went right up into here and then turned around and tanked. And had I been at home watching this, I would have got in short and I would have tripled my money coming back down, but it wasn't to be. I worked terrible hours for this. I worked third shifts. So I'm at work during Asia and London, and then I'm sleeping during New York generally. So I'm off today though, so I've got some time to do this stuff. All right, so fast forward a little bit more. I was saying I wasn't going to move my stop again. I'm under this swing. I know it's getting time to make a run. So I either lose 50 or make 150. So I'm calling that a 3-hour trade at this point. Here we go. Nice push. Sorry for all of this. That was me unplugging my laptop right there. And then I went up into the break room before I left and just sort of tracked the very last part of it. I had to carry the laptop through the area where I work, up the stairs with it open, because I was afraid if I closed it, it would black out my screen. All right. Get your popcorn. You're not going to believe this. Remember, this hasn't moved. No annotations, no moving boxes, no moving nothing. I think over here I moved my target down a little bit. I had a little problem working back and forth from both screens, and the range that I had over here, I wasn't sure that I was lined up right over here. We got 4138 here, and I think 4136-ish here or something. But this is the one that gets hit, obviously. So, and you'll see it does push right up into the box. All right, we're 6 points away with just a couple minutes to go. Price is at 41.32. I need 41.38 in basically 1 or 2 candles. Now, if you didn't know this was coming, nobody would expect this move right here. I mean, it's just, if I didn't have these tools, this trade's impossible. There's no way for me to do this. It feels like magic. I'm not kidding. So I've almost made my $50 back. And it just keeps on, you know, acting like it wants to come down. I mean, look at these nasty candles. Look at these wicks. Who would think they're about to get paid right here? You know what I mean? But the anticipation I had right here was crazy. I was like, watch, it's going to rip any minute. It's going to go. I've seen this happen before. It's just incredible. So yeah, 708 right now. My target was 710. Wish I would have got rid of that. But there we go. Okay. So I'm on 7. What are you doing? I'm checking my time. Okay, so right there it said there was the. Let me see if I can stop that real quick. I'll show you what I was looking at on the database. Right there. So median time of max extension, 710. That's where I got this information. 1.4 was my extension. I think it gets right up there where it's supposed to go. And then I had this was my max median retracement, which was this over here. I had a 0.3. So 0.3 was where I started that. That's where that information came from. All right. It's now or never at 710. Watch this. Yeah, I'm just pointing out the liquidity. There it goes. So this is the 0.5 right here. And there's a gap right there. It's a good sign. This is me in the break room. Here comes the run. Look at the price. Here comes the run. I mean, you can't call this any better. It hasn't moved like this the whole night. I mean, look at these moves. Bam! Look at this. Look at this. You want to talk about precision? You want to talk about quantum level trading? I mean, I'm using, small position size, just trying to understand this stuff, but it's about to be on. Yeah, and I was just being facetious here. You a believer yet? I mean, it made a believer out of me. No doubt about it. And here's me being more facetious. Subscribe for more IDR magic. Yeah, thanks for the subscriptions, the comments, all the interaction on YouTube. I appreciate it. Your feedback has been great, especially just letting me know that this is something that you're getting value out of. All right, so I'm going to pull up my other screen so you can see what price is doing right now live. I left the annotations up here and all this. This is where price went. So here was my target. Price went right where it was supposed to. Right where it's supposed to go. I mean, that was the box. This is where I expected it to go to. This is what I was like, I'd call low-hanging fruit, just because I was, doing this from work and kind of not very great circumstances. But and then it tanked. So, as soon as I would have seen this, knowing that this was max extension, I'm back in, because I'm already thinking, run to the other side, for another liquidity rate. So at this point, I was basically in my car headed home. So the laptop was shut, there's nothing I could do. But given the opportunity, I would have made a good bit more coming down than I made going up. Now, I'm sure I wouldn't have probably stayed in for this news. There was what was it? Retail sales or something. I don't remember which one, but there was 8:30 news, so I would probably try to get out before then. But I would have caught this move, at least down here, a good chunk of it. So anyway, that's it, man. If this doesn't impress people who are, trading, I don't know what will. I mean, I haven't been doing this that long, but I've seen a lot of stuff, as far as different strategies and supply and demand zones and, all the indicators and everything. But it feels like you have a crystal ball. So I'm going to credit the master. I call him M7 now, and he gave us sort of the history behind his name as a tribute to his grandfather, who was a Meister. So translating it to English, that's what it became. So, but as I've said before, where this stuff is concerned, he is the master. So thanks for your time. Hope you enjoyed the video. You'll have a great day. Until next time. Bye.